There we go. One, two, 3, 4. Not gonna lie, something's wrong with this. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here, 1968 Karmann Ghia. Yes, if you watched the last episode, we got it running with the dual cars, but no, we did not take it on a test drive. So, reason being, we're segueing into this transmission service. Gonna dump the fluid, refresh it with new. Also have to throw in a new shifter and the coupler. Reason I'm doing that is in the original, or one of the original test drives of this car, it had hard engagement in first if you're going into a roll. Don't really know what's going on with that. So we're gonna do the simplest things first. Throw parts at it. Because the last thing I wanna do is, well, put a transmission in this car. Yep, gonna try to avoid that if we can. So I guess, let me get this thing up in the air and dump some old fluid. Should be a quick episode, hopefully easy. The engine runs good. I went back and timed it and all that stuff. So power plant side, it's ready to go. The hoofs, the wheels, if you will, the propulsion, the things that actually make you go forward, we got to fix out. We got to service the crash box, and like I said, throw a shifter in and a bushing. So let me get this thing in the air, and you'll join me underneath with some awesome lighting and turbo photography as always. All right, what's it? Oh. Anyway, all right, car's obviously in the air, and yeah, drain plug. Just undo that and dump it off. I've had this guy I made a while ago. 17 millimeter wheel stud. Yeah, welded to a 14 millimeter cheapy Pittsburgh. This thing works great. If you didn't pick up, what I'm getting at is a 17 millimeter. So, made it years ago, and I think it was off one of my BMWs. Just so happens to fit, so we'll go with it. Let's see what we got for oil. Actually, looks pretty damn good. And it's clean. Did I? No, I didn't service this. I don't know if it'll pick up. A little bit of schmutz on the magnet. Nothing major, nothing I'm concerned about, but let me let this thing drain. I mean, I don't know how well the color's picking up. Can we zooms? That's the wrong way. Zoom is better. It's clean. So that's good. No chunks, no nothing. Let me get this thing cleaned up. We'll put this thing back in. Yuck. I hate the smell of this stuff. And yeah, retop this off. I was hoping it was going to be burnt low or just weird looking, but it's not. Hopefully it's in the shifter or the bushing. I'll be back. All right, while this continues to drain, I'm going to get loose the side fill port. Same size, 17. Just pop this out. Boop. Yeah, no magnet, but also not, you know, chunked up or weird. And nothing sitting in the sill is, I guess, what I'm getting at. So, all right. Yeah, it's coming out nice and clean. I'll slam this back in. I mean, it's not like it's gonna hurt anything. If it was coming out, you know, black or watery or, you know, interesting, I would, you know, let it completely drain. But honestly, I was contemplating putting the plug back in as soon as it dumped, because there's nothing wrong with the fluid. So do a service. Now the fun part, getting fluid into the trans. Always a joy. I'm gonna get set up for a novel idea on what I think I'm gonna do. I'll be back. Let's see here. Because I'm committed now. What are you? You're a quarter. I want bigger. I want all the flow. I'm just going greedy. All right, bigger hose. That'll fix everything. One more? One more. Is that enough? One more. That should be perfect. All right, if this genius idea doesn't work, come on, there we go. Or if this new genius plan doesn't work, I'm gonna manually pump it. I don't want to. Are you gonna flow? Oh yeah, she's flowing now. So, I'll get back to you after this idea falls flat. All right, pretty sure we're full. Oh yeah. Definitely full. Let's get our plug. Boink. Get that out of the way. Whoop. Screw that in. All right. Okay, dumb idea. Works. I'll tighten that, get this thing out of the way. Anywho's, I'm back. I don't know if me leaving I edited out or not, because I'm still filming this. But UPS drop off. Anyway, let's snug this plate down, or plug down. Click, tight. All right, let's get this stuff out of the way. And motorcycles, whatever. Anyway, let's get this stuff out of the way, get the car down, replace that shifter bushing. I think that's the next plan. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm obviously not recording changing out the shifter bushing. Hold on. Mainly because the lighting's terrible and I'm fat. But anyway, old coupler's out. Yes, I'm running the urethane bushes, but this is what came out. They're, again, the original VW ones, and you know that because they are, well, still, if you can see it, probably not, still stamped VW. But yeah, they were just, they were coming apart. There was so much slop in them. This is supposed to live in here, actually. Kind of like that. They're like foam rubber. I don't know. But also, how I keep saying this car was an auto to manual swap, auto stick to manual. Pretty ingenious. They lengthened it. Got them to shift distance, which, you know, easier doing that than changing out the rod. Approved. But anywho, let me finish this, getting this thing back together, and then, yeah, I guess I'll show you how to change out a shifter, because I can shoot in sideways in the door. Yeah, sounds good. I'll be back. Like I said, I'm doing this, trying to combat, you know, bad shifting. Got two bolts, 213s. Loosen them. Oop. And get this thing out of the way. It's just a factory shifter. I don't know if it's bent, if the cup's worn, so on and so forth. We're just going to get it out of the way. The plate itself, the lockout, that's in good shape, so we're not even going to mess with that. New shifter. Get out of there. All right, new shifter. Just make a mess back there. The new ones have this plastic boot on them. Usually they're just steel, you know, pivot joint. What I'm going to do is put a little grease on here so that it doesn't, you know, wear or prematurely wear. I'll be right back. All right, shifter, that bushing, you can barely see it, but she greased. Like I said, just gets rid of any kind of premature wear. Lockout spring, put that on. Let me grease that ball too. I didn't even think. Because yeah, that's not greased in there. All right, I'm back. I'm back, if you can see me. Grease the ball, grease that pivot thing. I'm just gonna work this grease into the slot, just so it's not gonna be completely dry. Good. Oh, I could have got the other shifter for this thing too. I didn't realize this thing had a full slit in the front. Okay. But anywho's, lock plate down, spring, lockout plate, you know. Hold some pressure. Get that one started. Get that one started. Start running them down. All right, now it's still loose. All right. I usually start out with the adjustment. If you notice, there's slots in them in the center. And we'll see how it does from here. What is going on? Did I screw up and put that plate in backwards? I think I did. And if you didn't tell me, that's rude. Now we put the plate in. There we go. One, two, 3, 4. Not gonna lie, something's wrong with this. 3, 4. That's 2. Let me diagnose this a little bit, and yeah, I'll get back to you because something's not right at all. Might be putting the old shifter in again. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to crawl in the driver's side. Unfortunately, there's not really a good place to put you. See what the hell's going on with that shifter. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the new one is bad. I don't know. Give me a few minutes and then I'll get back to you if I have, yeah, any expert diagnostic. If not, we'll put the old one in because I know it works. All right, guys, the only thing I can see here, let me get these springs out of the way. Is the old shifter and the new shifter, or betwixt the old and the new. The new one, make it even. The new one, if you could tell, or for me to focus on this, sits at least a quarter to a half higher, and you can see where it's already rubbing. This was brand new. Which, if this isn't sitting in the shifter cuppy thing correctly, it's not going to let it wiggle and jiggle. It has to, float higher, hence the reason you have to, push down to go to reverse. So, that is an interesting development. Never ran across this. It does have the old style shift fork or shift thing. It has a slot in the front or whatever. Take the shifter out of my Ghia. If that fixes it. Nah, we'll put the old one in. The old one looks fine. I'll lube it up and slap it in. This isn't worn or anything like that, and the ball socket looks fine. So we'll put the old one back in. Lube everything up like before and just slam it in. So, yeah, hoping the coupler was the issue. Between that and flushing the trans, we'll find out when we take it on test drive. I'll be right back with another ramble. All right, guys, shifter's in and tight. Let me get some cameras set up in here. And, yeah, hopefully, next thing you'll see me on the road or see it on the road and see how this transmission, the engine's going to perform with the dual carbs. Yeah, test drive. Tomorrow AM. I don't think I'm missing anything. Shifter's done, trans is flushed, carbs on, sync tuned, timed. Yeah, next scene, hopefully driving around. I'll be back. All right, guys, maybe adjust you a little bit. Anywho, car's running, it's turned around. It is cold today, so yeah, figure let the heat warm up on this thing because I know it works. So let's get on the road and see what this thing can do. This is going to be a what was that?
There we go. This is going to be a semi-quick test drive. Just feeling out the dual carbs. I still have some other work to do to the car, so the full end of the run test drive will be done next. I also had to put a pedal stop in. I ordered a shorter throw out, but yeah, the clutch is still weird in this. Alright, so all I'm pretty much doing with this test drive is making sure the trans is working, the clutch is hopefully better, and the shifter. Also the carbs, see how well they're doing. A little bit of backfire on the decel, nothing major. Second gear pull. Second gear pull. It's shifting pretty okay, so I think we solved some of the issues. Hopefully most. Alright, fourth to second. Slots in like it should. Second gear pulls good. Shifts nice. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it down there. I just put in a piece of 1/4-inch aluminum extruded angle just to get that pedal off the floor. Yeah, just to do a pedal stop. I got another shift arm on order. Maybe that'll fix this weird clutch cable proportioning issue. I'm hoping, because I honestly don't know. I've never been so puzzled by a clutch. Goes into first on a stop. I still think there's something quirky with this, with the trans itself, but I mean, if it's livable, it's livable. I hate to say that, but I mean, the only other option is replacing it, and it works. So, I mean, the car has the power for second gear, I guess is what I'm getting at. Stopped off of my buddies like normal, as per usual. Car's running great, fired right up, no issue. Still's running great. Shit, like I said, it's shifting fine. I gotta check air pressure in these tires. Feels a little bit low. Issue on a second gear pull. yeah, so far it's shifting good. It's running good. Tilt you guys up a little bit because, you know, I don't know what you can see. That shifter, it's starting to go into first, which I like. The shifter standoff, world of difference. Like I said, I ordered a different throw-out arm, shorter. Hopefully that works with whatever I got going on with this pedal cluster. But other than that, yeah, the engine's great. I don't recommend lugging them, but you can lug this one. And it has power for, you know, delivery. Definitely gotta make sure all these bolts are tight on this car. It does have coilovers in the back, so it does have a stiffer ride. And also a little bit clunky, but nothing I'd be concerned about. Yeah, we're just putzing along, cruising nicely. Downshift second gears were pretty good. This engine, like I said, we're going back to the shop. I'll wrap all this up on the big camera. Yes, car. Alright, back in the shop, obviously, because that's where we're at. Shut this thing down. Shuts down nice. Alright, back in the shop. I'll tilt you guys a little bit. Maybe you can see me. I don't know. All on one camera. Don't know the audio yet. But anyway, anywho's have you. Car did well. Like I said, this is just a quick test drive. Just see how it's going to, you know, how the carb sync was and how the transmission, you know, is acting now after, you know, the work was done. I got some other work I have to do to this car. Might have it on camera, might not, but we'll have a extended test drive after I'm done. This is more a diagnostic run. So, how's it start hot? Like it should. Oh. And I also changed out the gauges so that they're not all, or the LEDs, so it's not, I mean, it's still 75 shades of white, but at least it's more consistent. 30 pounds of oil pressure, perfect. So, yeah. Let me get on the big cam and wrap this one up. Oh. I don't know if that picked up, but the synchros in first are not happy. Yeah, I don't know if that picked up, but there was definitely a going to first. So that's interesting. I think the synchros are going out. Great. Let me get on a big cam and wrap this thing up.
All right, guys, back in the shop, obviously. The 68 did, you know, remarkably well. Like I said, I think I said in the clip, I don't know how well the audio is in there. I just went for pretty much a quick rip on this thing, just to make sure the transmission was doing transmission stuff. First gear definitely is questionable. I don't know if the camera inside picked it up, but I was in the shop getting back, threw it into first, and she just ground. Not a clutch issue. I think it's a synchro issue. So gonna be leery on that. Hopefully new fluid, even though the old fluid looked great, will maybe free it up. It might be binding or golding. I'm not sure. But the dual carbs seem to be tuned fine or right in spec. Whatever I decide to pick for timing, I can't remember, but it's good. It has power. It'll pull in second. It'll pull in third. So no, I'm hoping the complaint of lack of power is gone. And a lot of that had to do with those points that was in this thing. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, car's done for now, or at least mechanical side. There's some things I have to finish up. I got door seals and what else? I got to fix the rear valance panel. Warranty work on paint. not a big deal. Also, I got to throw an exhaust on this thing because that's the reason. That exhaust is getting way too hot for that valance. Or at least that's what I'm saying. It's getting a new exhaust. But anywho, I digress and regress to closing this thing out. If you like this episode, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you do, I promise you, we will chit chat. As always, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.